We gonna talk about it forever.
WCW, Voiceless. We up in the air, man. Kuta Kente. Many people rocking X in the house.
Yo. Can y'all hear me, listeners? Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Oh, yeah, right. What's going on? It's your man, Keith Report, a.k.a. Mr. Estrado, the greatest. Shouts out to Muhammad Ali, you know, and
don't be taking his name. You ain't the greatest, right?
I am the greatest, man. I'm the greatest before
Muhammad Ali's the only greatest.
I'm the greatest before I know the greatest, bro. You know what I mean?
So proclaimed, brother.
Sir Keys the door here, though. How you doing?
And I'm Trooper Joe, and I'm here to keep it real for you.
Shouts out to Dredd, I guess was on his way.
Dredd's coming to the door
And we
now.
got Will Truthford News.
Hey!
Deuces, Will Truthford News.
Check out the blog. The Truthful News blog.
Yeah,
Check out
Truthful News,
the
the 5 o'clock shadow.
Every day at 5 o'clock.
The one-man team.
Massive.
The one-man team. Shout out to the one-man team talk show, Master Radio.
Yeah, so Mike.
Say, Mike.
Hey Mike, Jay, feel Mike talk a lot. Think you're spiritual. Mike camera action. I'm in the building. Lucifer Hunter.
Alright.
Lucifer Hunter.
Straight off the slave ship.
So we wanted to talk about today. We wanted to talk about there's a couple topics we can talk about.
Yeah.
Talk about Muhammad Ali a little bit. I want to talk about that Stanford. What was that? That Stanford case, right? The Stanford swimmer rape case.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about that. And I want to talk about the $100 million urban revitalization plan. That kind of like X'd out a certain demographic of people, right?
Yeah.
You think so?
Vacation.
It X'd out some
Turn the
people.
lights on or something. Yeah.
No, I was asking if you could move the monitor because I can't see Nate.
Yeah, we could kind of, it'll take us
Because
a couple
no, the monitor moves. Just,
We're getting things all set up.
Yeah.
I'd like to give a shout out to the owner of Basil and Spice. Her name's Patora.
Basil?
And in June, don't tell me, I'll tell you again next week, June, I think it's 19th, she'll be having a dedication for her first year being opened. And the mayor will be there, and there's gonna be a special layout and everything. It's Thai food, it's delicious. And she's located on Shrewsbury Street, two Shrewsbury Street?
two something.
Two something
Alright,
Shrewsbury
let's get
Street, it's
information
Basil
right.
and Spice. Patora.
Shout out to Basil and Spice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
shout out
Yeah.
to-
Shout out to the one-man team talk show on Motivational Mondays. We dedicated that to Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
You know,
So I'm up.
And tune in on Wednesday on Masterfield Radio to Archangel, a return to Chivalry hosted by Trooper Joe.
Alright.
Yo, we had
5 o'clock shadow.
5 o'clock
Round
shadow
over
too,
there.
all that massive pill. Log on, you know, and
So
get
let's, I
popping.
want to talk about the one-man
Team.
show.
Yo, I'd like to bring the theme here. So we know
I
how.
don't know. We
how-
gotta discuss that off air.
No,
I don't know about
because, well, my show is just about people who didn't let anyone or anything get in their way of obtaining their goals, which, you know what I mean, was Muhammad Ali. You know, Motivational Mondays, it was what would Muhammad Ali say if he was here? You know, so Will asked the question, what would Muhammad Ali say to Black Lives Matter if he was here?
He was just here, so I think he had an opportunity to do that.
I'm talking about in his right mind. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Type of, you feel me?
And you
I don't
ugly.
know how much I got lost. I think he just had like Parkinson's.
Yeah, but he wasn't really to.
All right.
Think about it.
What would he say?
Yeah, you know, if Muhammad Ali is like true right now on steroids, you know what I mean, in his right mind, what would he say to Black Lives Matter?
Why specifically Black Lives Matter?
Well, that was Will's question.
Why you look?
I'm just bringing it up because it was an interesting question.
Why would he say? What would he say about the Black Lives Matters movement? The movement of what's going on. The social climate of.
They can't hear you. Yeah, they can't hear you, brother.
Basically, I asked about the social climate of black people in this country. If Muhammad Ali, who was very outspoken against the war and against white supremacy and racism, what would he be saying now?
Right.
I think he'll say the things that he always been saying. I think he'll say that there's no equality amongst people of different ethnicity and races. I think he'll probably talk about police brutality.
This chair.
I think he'll encourage more athletes to speak out if he was more in his right mind. I guess if he lost his mind. I don't really know. I tell you, I don't really know, man. I really don't know.
Yeah. That's deep though, I like
I
that.
just want to say that, like, I mean, shout out to Muhammad Ali, but I made a post about this, and I'm like, this is like, it's a distraction, fam. Like this even discussion about Ali, like, unless it, like, very few times have I heard it discussed in a way that, like, everybody knew that he was building up, right? So people been waiting to have this conversation, right? And then, like, all of a sudden, like, okay, I get it. You take the moment to recognize the significance and importance of his life,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I do that.
But then when it turns to this conversation about white people trying to whitewash Muhammad Ali's legacy and tradition, right? And like at that, who cares, man? Like are we really going to? It's like an argument. So okay, if you win that. Now, like, because I seen something that was absolutely ridiculous. At his funeral. Oh, Bill Clinton is speaking at his funeral.
Yeah.
If that ain't pandering to black people, I mean, but then again, like it's all like it all becomes part of just like the nobody cared about Muhammad Ali's legacy last week. So why you care about it now? Like is it because he died now? Like it's much more. It's a distraction, man.
Well, I mean, there's a saying, nobody gets the roses when they can still smell them. And
Whoa.
I mean, I think Muhammad Ali got a hell of a lot of roses. Smelled his roses a hell of a lot.
On the term that I'm speaking from is like people, like when people die, that's when people will start recognize people's legacy
Right.
and what they went through. There's a lot more history that pops up on the news and on our Facebook page, and you press on it like, oh, I didn't know you do that. Some people didn't know, whatever. But but you got people out there be like, I didn't know you did that. And I find it real funny because I have white friends that will have this idea about the Black Lives Matter and police violence and stuff like that, and they'll really side with the Blue Lives Matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when Muhammad Ali died, they're worshiping him. You know what I'm saying?
Donald Trump gave him a shot.
Yeah, so that right there, I'm just
it's
like,
exactly what I'm
it
talking
is
about,
it
man.
is kind of like something to like, okay, now that even though you know that I was on the other side, I'm gonna worship Muhammad Ali right now because he's dead, because you know what? He's not alive and he can't enjoy those future nature.
It's just a like button right now. Like there's the right now.
It is a like button. It is.
Like if you say something right now about Ali, like
100%.
right?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it was just, it reminded me of, some of the stuff he did and some of the stuff I remembered in my mind that pushed me to go above and beyond. It wasn't a like button. It's just, and then what it actually did was help me focus in on what that man really did at a time where, you feel me, people didn't do.
What did he do? What did he do? Like, give everybody something. Could you say some of Muhammad Ali in like
Rumble in the Jungle?
No, 20 seconds. Like some of Muhammad. Why is he important to you?
To me, the most courageous thing he did not go to war. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of athletes now in this day and time, I think about Donald Sterling and stuff like that. People protesting. I think Muhammad Ali wouldn't have played the whole year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how crazy he would have went with his ideas and how stern he would have been on what he thought.
For me, his blackness was incredibly bold. Like it was out front and beautiful, and made you understand it was beautiful. Not like it was extremely empowering to see. Like Muhammad Ali was like, I didn't know that there was a comic book that he beat up Superman. I think it's stupid, but I still was like, he was like my black Superman. Like I really identified more with Ali than Superman. It was Ali was right before me. Like, so I just heard like he was like the Jordan. Like I just like those who just missed Jordan. Like I just missed Ali, and he was like, but the folklore was like, and I seen the clips, and he was like in the '80s, nobody was talking about black pride. Like we was just moving on from that. So my bad, but true.
Yeah, I was during Muhammad Ali's time, floating like a butterfly, sticking like a bee. Muhammad Ali didn't want no parts of me. But that's all right.
I like those spin on the bottom of that. Yeah, in my head I always thought like, damn, True Joe reminds me a little bit.
That's his AKA.
Muhammad Ali, the way you
That's his AKA.
kind of like how tall you are and like your complexion.
Yeah,
I saw the picture.
Muhammad Ali. And don't forget I'm pretty.
I showed the
And
picture.
don't forget I'm pretty.
Yeah, they're quite handsome. Yeah, they're quite handsome.
I showed the picture yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, he's quite handsome. He always reminded me.
What I liked about Muhammad Ali, but during that era was, of course, what I was more focused on and fascinated by was his boxing ability and stuff, because I like that type of thing. But as I grew older and mature, Ali did some really fabulous things. He went over and united the whole country in Africa.
And that's
You know, during the part of apartheid.
revolution.
I mean, he had everybody in Africa chanting all this stuff.
Ali.
I mean, he did some great. And then, from today's perspective of Ali, for me, the one thing that he did, he loved his children. You know, he loved his children unquestionably. He was the father of his children much more so
How
than
many
he
kids
was.
he had?
Nah,
He loved the ladies too.
He had three wives. so
That he claimed. How many kids? How many kids he really had?
But, you know-
I can't contest to that part.
Kids across the street have his eyes? I don't know.
You know, like
It's like what?
maybe he was a better father than Martin. I heard.
But you know, that's what moved me on this thing. He was a man who stood on his own principles and stuff, and he decided to walk in life the way he wanted to walk in life. He didn't like when he told Cosell. I thought that was one of the greatest things in the world when he pulled up Howard Cosell's toupee, and he told him, "I made you who you are."
Yeah.
You know, it's like this was powerful. You know, it was like that's right. You know, you coattailed off of him.
And
And he was humble, funny, and did all those things. But he was stern and he was focused and he was committed to being him. And whatever it was that made him excited about whatever moment was in the time. I didn't find him to be a real political advocate and for all these things like that. He was more of a man who just said, "I'm the greatest." But you didn't see him when he was working out in the gym. You know, when he was in the spittoon.
Yeah.
The spittoon thing, when he was training all those hours and running and stuff like that and getting in shape to fight these guys. You don't see that, but you saw the in front of the camera things and stuff, and that's powerful. You know, all the accolades for what he did, but you know the way he led his life in the way he didn't even give up when he had Parkinson's. You know, he was still out there in the limelight. He couldn't even move. You know, he knew that it must have been real terrible to be one of the greatest orators in the world, one of the fastest people on the planet, you know, self-proclaimed greatest, and your voice has been locked up and trapped. It was like, man, what did I do to deserve to be put in this punishment? There ain't no greater punishment in the world than for somebody who never shuts up like myself.
Yeah,
You know, take away my
And
voice.
see, and that's what I was telling you. That was the gift and the curse, you know. Because at the end of the day, I think what his life stands for is what I feel. What is it? The code of ethics that men in my circle should live by, you know, which is be felt, not heard. And at the end of the day, he talked enough trash at a time where people didn't even like, you know what I mean, people of that color. You know, so not only did he talk trash, he stood up for something, which was, you feel me, equality. He went to jail for 5 years for that. They stripped him of his title right after he got it for that. Not only did he go to jail for that, he came out of jail, got him back in a way and in a time that was very, very, very crazy. You know, during the civil rights movement, he's saying, listen, let's go have a rumble in the jungle. Let's go to Africa, man. I'm not beat on this. And this is during the Pan-American movement. So a lot of black awareness amongst everybody, you know, was good. You know, I don't know about it now, but
That's what the Don
No,
did.
none of time.
Yo, word.
you know, and that was like his statement. That's a statement of the time. That's, you know what I mean? That's a statement of the time. Like, think about it. You know, they can hold.
Fight over here.
Well, it ain't even got nothing to do with it. It's just he exemplifies what we need to be
Conquering
doing.
knows.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, when people look at us, they be like, "Oh, who's that?" You don't need to know who that is. You know what he did though? That's what it's about.
You know what's craziest thing in town though? What's the boss of his daughter? She was on the Donald Trump Apprentice show.
Yeah.
Mad people was.
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird. You know?
I mean, but Donald Trump wasn't always like that though. Where he wasn't out here with it. I don't know what this is.
Donald Trump?
This
This is
we are in the middle of
Bad
something
guy.
that we have no idea what's going on.
Seriously.
We're the Donald Trump Part 2 show. I don't care if he gets to be president. He's having fun.
The time of his life right now. He's
Yeah,
the time of his
yeah.
life.
That's
He,
something fun to do.
to him right now, he has the biggest penis in the world right now, yo. This is incredible for him right now. And so, the two things about the Muhammad Ali thing, and that I found really interesting about it is I saw it says that I saw a quote that someone said that said that white America started loving Ali when he stopped being able to talk, and then I think that's really powerful and really true, and it became a lot more tolerable, a lot more they could spend it differently, and then I think the second thing is this notion that it's not a necessary conversation, but it is an interesting anecdote. Like it's kind of being glossed over, not being told. But Muhammad Ali was absolutely divisive in the black community. When him, a black man saying there's no God but Allah, was not the way to ingratiate yourself with the black community during that time. I mean, that was not a popular thing to say. He lost a lot of black fans because of that, because of his faith. Don't play with Jesus. I mean, come on, are we serious? Whatever. This is history. I didn't make it up. So that's I mean, a lot of them probably came around at the end, but it was it was kind of like Malcolm and Martin. Like the black community was half was with Malcolm, half was with Martin, and he lost a lot of people when he changed his name from Clay to Ali. That's what I quote. That's what that quote has like.
Rest in peace, and he called him Cassius Clay, and I was like,
that's not funny. That's not funny.
I mean,
like,
he wasn't trying to be funny. He was like, I think he went to the what you're talking about. You know what? I'm gonna respect his mama and call him with his mama,
right,
and not respecting his religion, what he wanted to be.
And he was serious about that, man.
And that's deep. Like I said, that's standing for something, yo. That's standing for you're gonna respect me. That's standing for, like I said, being aware of your not.
And that's proof that you can't force respect. Because man said, no, I'm not. I'm disrespect.
But what happened?
Still,
What happened? That man called him. That man called him Muhammad Ali.
There was a lot of other backstories that went around, and a lot of the older black people at that time, they didn't understand what the Islamic movement in America was all about.
That's the big thing right there.
No, why? Because it wasn't all that popular. They saw it as a militant organization, and they saw people dressed in black clothes and things like that. They saw, I don't even know his name, the short leader,
Elijah Muhammad.
Elijah Muhammad. They seen all this kind of things going on that was foreign to them. They didn't understand that. So when he changed his name to Muhammad Ali, and a lot of people said, well, I'm just going to continue calling him Cassius Clay. And they could do that, He really didn't mind all that, He knew who he was.
Because the purpose he didn't mind that. The purpose was he didn't want slave master's name.
No, I'm not talking about.
We all got slave masters.
I'm not talking about all the theory, all the philosophies and all that. I'm talking about the man. If you called him Cassius Clay or you called him Muhammad Ali, he's not gonna punch you in the face because you called him Cassius Clay. It's just like he was a person, when he reached all that fame and fortune and stuff like that, he didn't become lonely. Most people, when they reach fame and fortune, they become lonely. He became more popular the more famous he became. And the more popular he became, the more integrated into the community he became. And as a person, he was much more than a movement. And you're juxtaposing the movement today and your ideologies that you understand of today on 1960s, 1970s. They didn't fit. They did not fit. I was around. Let me tell you, I was around when they had the 5%.
He don't like being called. He wants to end the slave name that he has, and he wants to have his righteous name, which he thought it was Muhammad Ali.
And that's what he did. But he didn't care whether a white man over here said you can't.
No, yes, he did.
He did not.
So say distraction.
And that's what I'm saying.
Transition?
Very
We're gonna argue,
distracting,
because this is out of time. You be like, my name's Trooper Joe. He's like, yeah, boy.
No.
Listen here, boy.
Don't put boy on.
But that's the whole point of calling me what I want to be called.
No, you going off the wall.
No, I'm not. It's the time when they call me
or Muhammad Ali. Keep it what it is.
Calling you by your master's name is kind of like boy, though.
No,
that's not my name.
That's all right here, and that's all personal to you. We're talking about Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay.
I think it's
That's what we're talking about.
That's personal, because he changed it. That's what he did. That's what made it personal.
I want to be known as Tupac McNeil from now on. If anyone calls me Will, then it's going to be a problem.
Okay.
What is going on here?
I don't know. I changed my name.
I have to respect anybody's wishes to be acknowledged as they like to be seen and recognized. Let's go. Are we going to a bumper or?
Yeah, let's go with
Yeah,
the
let's
right
try
now.
Let me give you one final statement. All that noise and stuff like that. What's the doctrine of the church for
Islam?
for the Muslims? Isn't that peace, equality,
Yeah.
righteousness,
Yeah.
patience, and all that stuff?
And give you
Now, why
hell
would
if you
somebody
oppose them.
Change their name, knowing they're gonna take all that flack, and they're gonna first thing they're gonna do is get mad if you call them something. Where's the religious stuff in there? Nah, it ain't gonna happen.
Not everybody responds in that way.
Not now, but
Do you know, like, anger?
I mean, that was hard to focus on what you were saying.
I know, but basically, it's about this kid that went for Stanford University. He was on the swimming team, and
Yeah.
he raped
Olympic
the girl
bound,
behind.
don't forget that.
Olympic
Oh,
bound.
wait, something else is
He's
on, the computer's on.
about to get he's about to rape somebody.
Yeah.
Did he rape the girl?
Yeah,
Nah, exactly, from what I heard, it was,
She was unconscious when
it was alleged.
No.
No,
Raping
people
someone
seen her.
unconscious.
No, he was convicted.
He was convicted.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was convicted of rape.
Yeah.
And the girl was intoxicated.
She was unconscious.
She had like a 3 times alcohol level.
And left her behind a dumpster.
She was behind a dumpster. Damn, I don't know what party was it. It was crazy.
Yo, listen, man, I've been to college, I know.
Yeah, it's like that.
Hey, man.
It's like that?
I'm just saying, it get crazy. It get crazy. It's
So-
crazy like you couldn't believe. It get crazy.
Well, I mean, like he only got 6 months in county jail for this, and he got probation time.
But and then that's crazy because when you said that, the first thing I thought about when you sent it yesterday was the lacrosse team. You know all them boys got acquitted, right?
Yeah, but I think that it came. I didn't see that story, but it came on that the girl actually lied in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She ended up lying. But
But what is that?
I'm not saying she ended up lying, but it just that's the first thing I thought about on college campus. And then the second thing I thought about
I
is
mean,
the plight
it is-
of women, which I know you're an advocate for.
I really appreciate the honesty because I actually want to ask an honest question that's going to probably have a lot of women really pissed off.
We need
at me.
women here though to talk about.
Right, so if you listen,
Oh,
please,
you're
but I need to ask the question.
no female.
But I appreciate the honesty because like a lot of men think that immediately go she was lying. They go to figure out what, how they immediately go to prove how she was lying instead of like, really like this is an automatic bias. If most men keep it 100, right? I believe, right? It's privilege. You're in a privileged position. But if you offer that, I mean, if you juxtapose that, you compare that to what's going on at Baylor, right? Where like they fired their head coach and replaced him with a coach on the staff that was on the same staff, right? While like they had a player, a football player that just got 25 years for raping a girl. They had girls that filed the complaints with the athletic director, with the president, that they actually retaliated against. Not only did they not respond to, they retaliated against. Right? This is going on. They just got a guy that caught. He already had 2 accusations of sexual assault over at Boise State. They had to kick him out. They let him go. They brought him in. Like so, they had a fraternity. This is a culture. This was a real culture of rape right here, right? And that's not uncommon, right? This is at Stanford. Like this is the guys. This is how like insane.
Sandusky.
This is how insane being a man in America. Like they condition you to be like super predators, right?
He said super
when you automatically think that like this is like I hear crazy. But anyway, the dad said, in a letter, he said, "Yo,
Yeah.
20 minutes of his actions and a bad mistake shouldn't cost him the rest of his life."
Yeah.
It's not about the person, right? It's about it was just he did something stupid, right? Like a complete and total like he does. The person is invisible. She does not exist.
so he got
Right.
he got 6 months. So what do you think will be adequate time for him?
You know what I think? Ideally, I think all rape victims should be able to give their predator a sentence. It's up to them.
Up to the rape victim.
Up to the rape victim.
So
And then I
so
say-
the
so-
rape victim said she should have said like 100 years.
Then you said, and then I thought about this. I swear to God, I think this, if they say that says no mercy. So then we as a collective say, okay, in 10 years from now we're going to revisit this. And every 10 years you got to say yes. I want them to do 100 years. And every 10 years, and then once you die, and if that person dies, and then it'll be up to the community to say whether or not this person has repaid their debt, or if he or she needs to do another 10 years. But the rape victim should provide the sentence on the predator.
That's interesting. That's,
Very,
that's
very,
an interesting
very.
way of looking at it.
I just hope you have a sympathetic
Don't rape anybody.
victim, right?
Yeah, don't rape anybody.
Don't rape him,
Let's
that's
go again. Coming in, I don't think, I couldn't go along with what Mike said about the rape victim, giving out the sentence. Simply because of the pressure and the pain that is going to be revisited on the rape victim herself.
Yeah, that's tough.
She'd be put under a microscope to have to prove that she's a responsible individual and her home training was sound enough that it wasn't a mistake on her part. It was actually a physical predator type of assault on the guy like that. And that would be traumatic for the person like that. But I do think that 6 months, that's just stupid. That boy should be put away at least 10 years. And his life's ruined, her life's ruined. It's like, it ain't 20 minutes of some stupid mistake because he's drunk, she's drunk and all that
Well,
stuff
he's in Stanford and he's on the swim team. He's about to be on the Olympics.
That's why, that's
He's
the
not no like
Regular
some kid
dude.
from that goes to that went to Elm Park Elementary.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing about it.
That's the problem with society.
Shout out to Stanford.
We're a country that's so
Yeah.
fired up about the many gold medals and heroes that we have that we can't afford to have our people not look good. So he's a Stanford, and this is the white privilege as far as I understand.
Oh, so you recognize some white privilege now?
I recognize
White privilege is the only reason why we even talking about this
Yeah,
story.
I recognize this is white privilege based
Influenza.
upon an economic and a sports-like type of thing, a hero worship type of thing like that. I see this as a white privilege type of stuff. Only because
Or affluenza. Affluenza is real, man. I remember when I had
Yeah,
a bunch of, I had mad
It
food
don't
stamps
work
at one
for
time. I
us,
was
son.
didn't know what
It
to do.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something a little bit more different than that. I can't remember the guy. I don't know the guy's name, but he's right here in
Oh,
Worcester.
man, that's
He was an Olympic hopeful, just yesterday in boxing, and his work wouldn't let him go down to Florida to
Who's
give him
this?
time off. I forget his name. He just boxed the other day.
Jermaine?
He was on this Jermaine, yeah, on the same car with Kai. The kid's bad.
Jermaine's
This is one
Jermaine Ortiz.
man walking,
Jermaine Ortiz?
talking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a trooper.
he was an Olympic bound contender.
Yeah.
But he's, he's
He
not
was
white,
champ.
so.
His work
Yeah.
didn't allow him.
His work wouldn't give him the time off to go down to
A custodian. So
Florida.
he's only a custodian too, right?
You still gotta work. He didn't get the making the Olympics yet. He didn't get the time off to go
And
down.
that's when the elder. That's when the elder should have stepped in and made sure that he got that trip. Man, forget that job. We get you
We
something.
got
come back
something.
to
His
another
trainers
job.
and his
Yeah,
promoters
right.
and stuff.
And I
like
go
that.
to family too, yeah.
But
That's interesting.
back to the rape victim. I was
Yeah,
like,
so
oh,
yeah, I don't know how
We
that.
shout out Stanford, talked about
Yo, and the reason I shout out Stanford is because my cousin just got, he chose them over a free ride to UCLA for their med school. So like, shout out to Stanford. But
Thanks for
yo,
clarifying that.
my
That's
whole
my
thing though, yeah, you're right. The first thing I think about when you talk about that atmosphere of college, like damn, I was in college, wow. And
I don't
then
know. That's still. I think it's still.
no, but it don't
Okay,
justify
I went
anything.
to
The
college.
first thing, huh?
Are you good to college?
Yeah. The first thing I think about though is, like I said, the first thing I thought about, I told Dre,
I go
and
to
the
college.
second thing was the plight women have to take. And
I
then
got
the
my
bad
ID
thing about
I got my
it
ID
is,
right
I
in my
think
pocket.
the plight
My
black
ID
women
right
have
here.
to take
Pull it out.
in this world because at the end of the day,
Pull it out.
they were the ones who had to take in a lot.
I'll
And,
pull out my
take
college
in a lot
ID.
and still have to give out love to the kids and to the husbands and to the men of the community. So yeah, definitely
You
in
gotta
that
care,
situation, I would like to have a woman on to talk. You know what I mean? To talk more about that experience because I don't know nothing about it.
You getting the
It's
close up on that?
True, but just I love it. True.
What is it?
But in the middle of the show,
Student
right?
Harvard. I'm sorry. Yeah, I go to college. We don't have that down
I
there.
don't know
Ain't nobody
who
saying
I don't know
nothing.
who's gonna think that's cool or nothing. Like I don't know. Like listeners don't think that's cool.
You
right
don't
now.
think
They're
that's
like,
cool?
oh,
So and that's, I didn't even get to.
Can you finish again?
Yo, that's crazy, yo, nuts, yo. But it's just the affluenza, you know, I think just it's clear that there's a double standard to, like I said, rape, or let's say anything perverted or sexual that, to be truthful, you know who that predator is a majority of white men, and how the laws around them are so double standard, and it's just reality.
Why is it majority white men?
But look at them, because why I think that's their perverted.
Most of the rapists.
Yeah, that's their perverted nature, their culture. I think, you know, because when I was in, that's who was coming in for rapes and
But
being
that doesn't
predators.
necessarily mean that
they're the only ones.
because it's rape.
Is there stats to support that or anything?
Yeah, they are. Like most of, if you look at profile, it's you like the. Let me double check that, man. I'm fairly sure. I know it's like I might be mistaken with serial killers. Because I know serial killers are white males, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure rapists are white males too, though.
You know what's even crazier statistic I heard? That men get raped more than women in America.
In prison, right? It be like I hate when men say that. Like it's like it's such white people trying to make it a black example, right? Like again, and it's still the same hidden message that men are rapists.
And that's what I'm about to say,
It's
the
men
double
raping
standard.
men. It's not women raping men.
I was about to say,
it's men doing the raping, right? Okay, men might be getting raped more because men just. So here's the problem, right?
Well, I think they get raped by men though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But here's the problem, right? This is why I was going to give pushback on the white thing. And I'm saying, look, like, and this is going to be difficult for women here, even some men here, like, but the same way white people are victims of racism, they internalize the racism and a superiority complex. They get a superiority complex. The same thing happens to men, right? We are conditioned a certain way. It's just like being in the Matrix. Until you learn better, you don't really realize, like, damn, that's what they, like I was told that was like. I've been around circles where dudes is waiting for the chicks to get lit and waiting to go in. And so I don't know why dudes is acting like this is something brand new, like dudes taking advantage of drunk girls. And they don't see it as rape. They see it as like, yo, you get it in. Shorty knew what she came in for.
Bill Cosby let you know about that Spanish fly.
That's completely different. That's drugging chicks. That's rape. But I'm saying dudes intentionally get chicks drunk.
That's
so
rape
they
too.
can make poor decisions.
Then why is that
But-
different than the Bill Cosby Spanish fly?
Because they don't know that they taking something that he don't know that they taking.
What?
Oh, yeah,
They taking drugs that you don't know that you're taking is not the same as we getting drunk.
No, that's not true.
Going and eating Bill Cosby's room at 10 o'clock at night.
What does that have? What does the scenario or the something have to do with anything?
Bill Cosby said they knew.
You have to check with me.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just saying, yo, why?
No, that's
I know
not
why
true.
Bill Cosby's fishy.
Okay, so
Got it talking to the mic.
I'm going to.
That's fishy. That's just.
In most of the accusers' stories against Bill Cosby, they said Bill Cosby gave them a pill, said take this will make you more comfortable, and then they woke up. It's not like he was like spiking the drinks or anything like that. He was giving it to them and they were taking it. He wasn't forcing them to take it. He wasn't like spiking the drinks and stuff like that. In most of the accusers against him.
So I'm not going to debate that. So like, how many testimonies? Well, I don't want to get into. I don't want to turn this to Bill Cosby, right?
No.
But here's the thing, though, right?
So what was the?
Even if it's the same as Bill Cosby, right? Like, there's a normalization of taking advantage of these opportunities.
Yes.
Which takes me to the difficult question, right? So the rapists, the men who take advantage of it, there are severe consequences. You need to be held accountable. It's unfortunate that you was conditioned to think that you can like engage women like this, and your actions and this you damage this person for the rest of your life, or a man that you did this to. These are the consequences, right? In the meantime, just for self-preservation, right? Isn't it wise, right? If we know that men are conduct themselves this way, for women not to go and get terribly drunk around a man that she knows, just period. Don't get terribly drunk around a man by yourself.
You saying a woman should know that?
Yeah, I'm asking, isn't it wise to practice that?
I'm gonna say
It's
two words.
definitely wise. It's always wise to practice all type of safety
Peer
precautions and
pressure.
stuff like that. You know?
I'll say two words. Home training.
No, peer pressure.
Wait, let me go on it too.
Peer pressure.
The Bible does say, do not give in to drunkenness. And the Bible says that for a reason. I hope y'all listening.
What's the reason?
Because giving into drunkenness, you're not in control of yourself.
And the Bible also made wine in the water. Water. So,
Facts.
I don't know what else.
Facts.
They drunk
Facts.
all the time, right?
Facts.
But
It wasn't the alcoholic wine. though.
The question was, isn't it wise for example, like somebody would say, if you as a black person, I have the right to go anywhere I want and wear my clothes anywhere I want, right? And that includes with my pants hanging off my butt, right? If there's a police department in the community that I know responds to people, black men, just that certain way, and I go in that community and I get mopped up or engaged and they end up killing me, right? Something extreme. Absolutely, they were in the wrong. Complete total abuse of power. Did I help my situation? Did I instigate that situation?
Yes.
Victim blaming alert.
That's not victim blaming. But it is victim accountability. It's not victim blaming.
So
So it's like, yo, okay, do you not like? Would you do this again? Like, if you
It
know,
reminds me of the Chris Rock's time when Chris Rock said like like the people who be like posing as somebody else and they dress a certain way, like somebody that's faking like a cop and they dress like a cop.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, you was dressing like you was dressing like a prostitute, so I treated you like that. They had nothing on, so I treated you like that.
no,
Wow.
I'm not talking. I'm not
Wow.
talking about those situations.
I agree with that statement.
I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about because, like I said, there's been times where dudes are just kicking with a chick, not cheating her like no prostitute, but intentionally feeding her alcohol so she can get laid so they can go in, right? So like and so when that happens, right? She knows what's going on at some point, right? What, like, isn't it wise to say, look, if you're not, you know that this person can potentially turn into a savage. Do you want to get inebriated and drunk in front of him?
Well,
So I think the person in that situation, either they succumbed to peer pressure, or they wanted to see how the fire. You know, they wanted to touch the fire. I mean,
Explain that,
peer
please.
pressure. Peer pressure meaning the person was pressured into drinking. You know, and then they then got off of got off point as they started to get inebriated, or they really wanted to see where is this drinking game or me and you together, me getting drunk is gonna go. They want to see that. They want to. That's what I mean by touching. Telling somebody that pan is hot. They like no. They want to touch the pan themselves. to see
Here's
if
the
it's hot.
danger in that,
That's
right?
good.
And the other thing was when we talked about the Bill Cosby case,
Oh,
and I
well,
said, and I was telling, because it was the same thing when I was saying, what were the women doing in his room at 10 o'clock at night? You was like, oh.
No,
At 10 o'clock at night, if she's not expecting
the
something.
difference in that was like you and like a lot of other people like offered that as evidence that it wasn't rape. And I'm saying I'm saying it's just poor judgment.
It's poor,
I'm saying poor judgment. But
it's the same thing.
People were offering it as evidence that it was not rape. They would say, look, why would she go to he didn't rape nobody, why would they go to his room? I ain't saying that at all. I'm saying men look for these opportunities. Don't help them with it. That's what I'm saying. Period. I'm saying men look for these opportunities. Don't help them with it.
okay, true, not all men though.
Yes, mostly men. Not all men, but what I'm saying, like, if you look at most
That's
most
the
rapists,
same thing.
Look up the statistics. So when you got the computer, who rapes more, men or women?
So
That
women,
is the
women
point.
shouldn't dress, using your argument, women shouldn't dress a certain way.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if you don't want to get raped, try your best not to put yourself in situations. Don't put yourself around rapists where they could take advantage of you.
Now, see,
And every man that you with potentially is a rapist. We condition us and we live in a rape culture. We automatically go to when we hear a woman's stories how that probably didn't happen or how she probably wanted to play with the fire.
I want to provide my solution. Let's go back in the day
So you then truth.
and castrate guys, and then let's see how that happens. You know, and that's how I think. At the end of the day,
Back in the days,
yeah, think about it.
I'm still going on home training. And what I mean by that home training and everything, I grew up in a culture where, you know, if you was a girl and you were going out, you made sure that your friends knew where you were and everything. And you made your friends checked on you. Obviously nobody was checking on this girl. I have to side a little bit where Mike says about men are stupid, and we live in an area where we live in an environment where sex is something that you stick on the wall on your hooray for me thing. You just put that up, and these people don't have any remorse. That guy had no remorse at all about raping that girl and destroying his life.
None.
You know, her life. All he had about, well, now I'm not going to go to the Olympics, and this is going to destroy the thing. And well, it ain't even in affluenza. And the father, well, this is going to embarrass me, and I had opportunity to have an Olympic-bound son and stuff like this. Nobody cared at all about the girl and everything. But the girl, I don't know. It's like like I said, your home training, your dogs, your girl road dogs should have been looking out for you. Where's old silly Susie? Everybody knows who's their friends, the silly one or something like that. You know, then they should have been looking out for her. The smart one say, Susie, I'm over here, so make sure that you check in. Or she'll say, give her the finger and stuff like that. But all the time in her heart saying, thank you for looking out for me, you know? And then go over there and check on. Nobody checked on this girl. You know, with a bunch of predators around.
I agree with you.
Home training.
I agree with Mike. I mean, you have to have your
Yeah, I
own
agree with
self. You
Mike.
have to have some type of accountability in what you're doing and in your life. Like, for example, I'm not gonna, if I know there's like a Klan's rally and they own like this store and stuff, I'm not shopping there. You know what I'm saying? So,
You got a right to.
I got a right to.
Yeah,
I got a right to. If I go shop there, I know something's gonna happen. You know, but like the girl, but I do have to question the girl. The girl was like totally liberated behind a dumpster. Like how she get behind a dumpster?
Maybe she was throwing up
Yes.
behind the dumpster.
No.
But I wanted to say this to Keith's point. He was like, either one or two options. And I was like, this is the danger, right? Like I remember the first time I drank Malibu. We was sitting down, and we was drinking from the bottle. I hit it like maybe 4 times. When I stood up, it was a rat. I didn't even know it was a creeper. It was gone. So like she was like she could that was just she could have very well just went there just be social. Maybe to see if she wanted to see what to do. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't know. But like she didn't have the opportunity to say yes or no.
Yeah.
But so just being there don't mean she wanted to get it in. And that's what a lot of men do. And they don't.
And I'm not saying her just being there, saying you're saying that. You're saying
No, I'm
her
not
being
saying
there
that.
getting
I'm
drunk
saying
was
like-
not the best thing for her to do.
I'm saying if you want, I'm saying if you want to go see someone, like don't drink around men by yourself.
If you want to go see
That's
what
it.
men
That's
do,
what I was saying.
if you want to go
That's
see
it.
what men do when you're drunk, you know what I'm saying? You could do that consciously or you could do it unconsciously. My thing is, you have a lot of people who do it consciously. You have a lot of people who say, "Well, yeah, I know," and that's the crazy thing.
How do
You
you
know,
know that a lot of
because
people do?
I'm just talking about just the college atmosphere. You know, athletes on campus. So when it comes to athletes on campus,
Do what constantly? I mean, maybe I misunderstood. I'm sorry.
either drink peer pressure and not knowing what I'm getting into, or drink and drink and ready to go on this roller coaster.
He's saying more like they just take that shot and like, yo, I don't know what's gonna end up tonight. I might be end up in jail, but it's going down.
Right.
And they do that consciously, or they do it just like you said. No, here, take this sip of, you know what I mean? Take this sip, and you sip it 4 times, thinking it's done nothing to you. Your first time drinking,
But I don't think a
you
girl
get up
ever-
and it's like,
I
oh,
don't think a
snap.
girl ever thinks she's gonna get raped. I don't think that's what
I don't know, man.
And
Like,
what do you mean though? It happened, yo, and that's the crazy thing. And as social media is getting bigger, do you know it happened? The statistics on rape has to be crazy.
do you think it's possible as a black person that you could be lynched by a white person? Do you think it's possible?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So because we
Backwater
know what it's like to live in a white man's world. A woman lives in a man's world. So I'm pretty sure there has to be somewhere in their mind
So I'm trying
they
to
know
tell
that
you.
like men rape women. Right, and so like I don't know what degree, how cognizant they are of it, but I know that they know that it's a thing.
Yeah, you remember when we went to a
They know that
training
men even rape
where-
men more, even little boys.